Hi, my name is Vicky Lee and I'm your success coach. Are you completely stumped why the universe won't let you move forward in your life? In this video, I'm talking to Brian, and just like you, he wants financial security, a relationship, health, life purpose. But every time he's doing well, something comes up to block him. And not just a normal thing, but a vicious, violent, money scamming attack from his own family, co-workers, friends, people. And you might be thinking, well, Brian's doing something. He's got to be doing something to attract this. He has to have karma. Maybe it was bad in a past life where he's in denial of something going on underneath the surface is attracting that. Actually, no. Brian's not doing anything that attracts or provokes the world. He's a loving, wonderful, intelligent soul with no history of vices or transgressions. So what's going on? Why is the world attacking him and not letting him live a happy, healthy, normal life?
Let's highlight that in bold. Every time I accomplish something, I don't have the ability to become independent. Okay, so this is a lie. Because that's not true. Every time I got a Porsche, or, figuratively speaking, however you spell Porsche, I was carjacked. Every time I bought a fur coat, it was stolen. Every time I moved into a new house, people took it away. Basically, what I'm telling you is it's not true that you're not independent. I am independent. I do have the ability to be independent, but I get robbed. You are allowing people, or maybe you're not allowing them. It's just happening. What's happening is you are continually you keep getting robbed. People keep robbing you. They just steal from you. They steal many things from you. People steal from me. They steal many things. They steal my money. They stole my house. They stole my courage. They stole my faith. They stole my trust. They stole my self-confidence. People are stealing from you, Brian. It's not true that you're not strong. It's just that someone keeps beating you with a stick. So how can you ever stand up when you have broken legs? You're like, wow, look, my legs are broken. No, somebody broke your legs. Your legs are not broken. You weren't born with broken legs. People just keep abusing you. You have perfectly great legs. They're fine. The problem is people keep stealing from you. They're robbing from you.
So what do I do about that?
Right. So the very first thing we do is we just look at it for a second. So you just have to look at it. People always say, oh, what should I do? Let's just look at it for a second. It's the same thing as remember that one woman, I forgot her name, but they call her the poor little rich girl, and they made movies about her in the 1980s. I think her name she was the richest girl. She was the richest girl in the world. She was an heiress. And when she died, she had no money. She had given away billions of dollars. And her whole life, because she was so rich, everyone stole from her. They stole love, they stole her happiness, they stole her abilities, they stole, and including they stole money. Does it make sense? Is it true that she's poor? No, she's the richest girl in the whole world. Then why is she broke? They stole from her. Doesn't mean she's poor, she's rich. But people stole from her. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah. I guess I'm just confused. I guess like, I don't know what to do. I mean, when I got injured in the police academy, I had health problems after I got injured, and then I feel like, I don't know what happened in my relationship when I was 18. I never understood why that ended. I don't understand what my problem is or why I have problems or if people are stealing from me. I feel like I fight with people. When the state police, when I got injured there, I had an internal affairs investigation. There was a Supreme Court case against them, and then with my parents or my mom, I've fought with her a lot. And I've had another couple incidences at the agency I work for where I've had, basically threatened to open up an internal affairs investigation on two women, two separate incidences where they just continuously harassed me every day. So I don't really know, and I don't really understand what it is about me that, attracts these scenarios.
Let's look at that. You let the world take from you my dignity, my pride, my belief in myself. Now, if karma exists, this would be the equivalent of, let's say in a past life, you were black in a very racist America. And all your life, white people, because I know you're actually a white male in this life, but all your life in that past life, white people told you, you're nothing. You can't have anything good. And you work your little tail off, you buy a Cadillac. And the white people come and they steal your Cadillac. And then you get a beautiful girlfriend, a light-skinned black girl, and they do things to tell you, to sabotage you. You don't deserve her, you shouldn't be in love, or you need to get out of here. And they're taking from you and taking from you and taking from you just because you're black. And after so many years of trying so hard, living in a very racist country, you just stop kind of fighting. And you just let the world take it. Oh, I bought a bicycle. Oh, look, the white kids are going to steal it. Can't go to the police because it's racist. So you just take it. I'm tired of fighting. And you start letting the world take from you your manhood. Because what can you do? That's the way the world is. And then you're saying, well, what is it about me that attracts these scenarios? Never mind that I live in rural Alabama in the 1950s and segregation is legal and I'm black as ebony. What is it about me that attracts these scenarios? Is it you or is it the world you live in? Well, maybe it's because I'm tall, good looking. Maybe it's because I'm nice. Because I'm happy, because I believe in the world. Maybe it's because I'm in love. Maybe it's because the first time in my life I had a good job and everyone around me was looking at me like, that little black kid, he's a little bit too positive. Let's go poke at him. Boy, why are you so positive? Why are you so happy? Can I take from you? Can I take from you? Can I take from you? Can I beat you down? What is about me that attracts these scenarios? If you were fat, ugly, poor, and you had a bad attitude and you had an ugly voice and shit, people would leave you alone because there's nothing to take. It's when I have a lot to offer, I have a lot to take, the world is going to be jealous, and it's going to challenge me. And I have a choice. I can either let the world take from me because I'm such a nice guy. You did try to fight, but that is not the other option. I can let the world take from me, or I can quietly go about my business and secretly never allow anyone to take my humanity. They might think they're taking it on the outside, but I have to be smart. I'm going to give you an example. And I was Pamela Anderson when she was in her 20s, and I had like huge tits, okay, and blonde hair, and I'm walking naked through town, no matter how much I fight and say, no, don't rape me, but look at how I look. You've got to be kidding me. Am I a stupid fucking idiot? I don't walk around naked Pamela Anderson and expect people not to hit on me. Put some damn clothes on, girl. Put your hair in a hat. Hide your beauty. Be smart about this. We live in a world that's going to take from you. Don't go flaunting your shit around. Yeah, men are going to hit on you. If you want to be honored for your brains and your creativity and your talent, don't look like that. I'm not saying she's making herself rape bait, but she is. Your problem, Brian, I think, is probably when you were younger, you were a little bit too good looking, too nice, too Mr. Sharp. People would probably vote for you if you ran for office. And you were happy and proud, and you didn't bother to hide it or protect yourself. And you let the world take from you.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I guess I just don't know. I guess I still just feel like I don't even know what that looks like. It's like, I mean, if I think about my current situation, like when you were going on, when you were talking about taking from me, and you were kind of animating that, it really reminded me of someone that I sat next to at work. And this woman just continuously asked me for money all the time. Like, it went on for like 2 months. I built up a case report on her. And then here's how it happened. Here's how it came out. Like, I reported her to management. I had this big case file. I had like a death threat from her. I had, dates and times and all this stuff documented. And then everyone else became fearful of me because I guess she spread rumors about me like, oh, he's crazy because I even told this woman, I said, look, don't joke around about killing me and stuff like that. I have post-traumatic stress disorder and, all these kind of things. So, it's all, and actually the whole pattern through school and everything, what I remember is that I kind of had this personality, like maybe when I come out where, people would want to take from me, but I also fought a lot, like really hard too. And, I remember like when I was in high school, I feel like I went on a spree where I would start punching people. So I don't know. It just seems like I fought a lot. So it's like this dual personality almost where, I want to kind of relax and feel comfortable and safe. And then when I do, I end up fighting with people, or trying to build some sort of reputation to let people know that I will fight them all,
Right, and the example is like Pamela Anderson. No matter how much that naked, breast-implanted blonde chick fights, she's a naked with huge tits on the street. She can fight all she wants. I'm chastising you a little bit because maybe Pamela Anderson didn't know she was that gorgeous. Maybe you didn't know how bright your light really was. You just didn't know. And everyone else could see it but you.
Well, what it makes me think of too is, like, for example, my mother worked for Macy's, the retail store, and when I was a kid, I had better clothes than a lot of the other kids. She got them really cheap. And then when I was 16, my mother started putting pressure on me to buy a new car, and really she's put pressure on me ever since to buy a new car. It seems like every time a car gets 100,000 miles on it or something, it starts having some problems. And then there's pressure on me to have this house that I live in. I can't even imagine paying for all this stuff. So I have nice clothes. I usually have a pretty nice car, like a late model car. And I live in an upper middle class house. And, I guess I felt so much pressure from my family that, I've never really been without those things. And so I don't really know any other way. And on the other hand, too, is with my father working for state police and all this, and the law enforcement, that's also been a way that I've fought people indirectly, or at some point when people tried to fight me, they'd become intimidated by me. So, for example, when I was in high school, a couple guys tried to jump me. When I was about 15, I pepper sprayed both of them. And so, I have a martial arts background. I don't know, so I guess that's part of it, too, where it's kind of like two ends of it, where I use that as a way to fight with people, because I didn't know the other way. I didn't know how to, as long as I didn't even have clothes where I could dress kind of more modestly. Because there's always been this enormous pressure from family to, keep up with the Joneses or whatever.
Okay. So, I didn't know. I didn't know that there was a world out there of men ready to rape me, I didn't know. I didn't know that I was making people jealous. I didn't know. I didn't know the world was that cruel. I had no idea. It never...
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Well, another thing that went through my head real quick is, I think with my dad being a police officer, I think there's something in my mind, too, where, there's this idea like, well, this is how the world should be according to law. You should respect other people. People should respect you. This is how the world should be. I almost think that that's my dad's idealism in me, I think that's what I was raised with. And so I think that kind of created some conflict, too.
Right. Just because you see a beautiful woman doesn't mean that you need to rape her. Right? I mean, people should be good. Just because I'm black or the color of my skin doesn't mean I'm not... Right. Hello, what world do you live in? I mean, is this the Christmas show? Is this Beaver to Cleaver? I mean, or whatever. I mean, is this the Brady Bunch? This is the real world.
Well, another part of that, too, kind of an extension of that is the people that I grew up as a kid, the people I grew up around, were often other people whose fathers were police officers, or, or they kind of had that same kind of mindset, and so I was around that, and I was also shielded from other people. I even had, I remember talking to my dad about how there was a couple kids that lived across the street, and they would invite me over to play, and I wouldn't go over there because I had a, quote, bad vibes about them. I didn't trust them. And actually, one of them was the one that I ended up later being threatened by, and ended up pepper spraying them at the festival. But it's that whole environment I grew up around. It's almost like, there was just this kind of impression about, well, they're just bad people. That's, not really how the world works or something. It wasn't in my environment most of the time, but most of the time I was sort of shielded from that. And another thing was that I lived next door to a minister, and then there was this, it's sort of this environment where, another cop lived next to it. So it's almost like I was just surrounded by cops and,
ministers.
People, stuff like that.
Cops.
So I wasn't really around the bad people that much. And when I was, I had, maybe I would fight them off or something.
You see, do you see what's happening here? Your destiny is becoming very clear. Dorothy Dandridge. Dorothy Dandridge. See? Look at her. Okay, so here she was born in 1922, and she was a black singer. And Dorothy Dandridge, she was beautiful, and she worked on stage in Hollywood. She goes, so this is how the world works. You're beautiful, and you sing, and you're on TV, and you're in the movies. And that's how the world really works. Is you're beautiful, you're talented, and you become famous. Well, little did Dorothy Dandridge know that she was like 1/8 black, and she couldn't walk through the front door of anywhere. And it shocked her, and her whole life she struggled and she fought with this. She just couldn't accept how the world really works. Another example of that, Abraham Lincoln just couldn't get it. Why do you need to have slavery? It just, he was depressed his whole life. He fought, you know. Another person, Ralph Waldo Emerson. I mean, there's a lot of poets and intellectuals and people who think if you're smart and you're talented and you help people and you're a good person, how come God doesn't just let me be a wonderful singer or a poet or a college professor? How come the color of my skin matters? It doesn't make sense. Like, isn't that how the world should work? Another example, Martin Luther King was very clear how the world should work. And he was like, God, I'm on your side. Why would you let this happen to me? Because God wants to teach you how the world really works. And usually, people who are beautiful, at least to begin with, beautiful, young, talented, intelligent, and here's the thing, positive. Like, they're not entitled, they're not cocky, they're not arrogant, they're positive. Agents of change in the world. They're bright lights, super bright lights, full of promise. Like, you are going to change the world. Usually, God will not keep you in a bubble and protect you and make you Justin Bieber or whatever. You have no idea that there's poor people in the world. Usually, God has to teach you how the world really works. And then, God trusts you. Says, I know you can do this. Change it. Yeah, it's wrong. Go. Change it. I made you a light so you can go learn how the world really works and then change it. What happens is bright lights attract dark energy, darkness. Demons, and in the form of other people, will come and try to tear down bright lights. Now, if you're a small light, the demon doesn't care about you. But if you're a bright light, demons want to tear down bright lights. They like that. I'm like most normal people. Unless I want to turn into a bright light, then I'm in for it. But let's say you're normal, like me. I can just be pretty and sing and have a normal life. No problemo. Demons are not going to come near me because I don't really affect and influence that many people, or I don't have the potential to. So I can use my own human energy to create clear and healthy boundaries. I can communicate well and tell people, don't do that. This is how the world works. I can actually call the police and have you arrested. See, all the normal rules of society apply to normal people like me, and I can live and function. The moment I want to be a bright light, the normal rules of society no longer apply to me. I can't call the police and have them. It doesn't work like that. I can't set clear boundaries. People will come, jump the fence, and rape me. I can't communicate. They'll just shoot me. The moment I become a bright light, the forces of darkness escalate. A bright light, you cannot use your own human energy to fight off a demon. Demons is like fighting a nuclear warhead. You're a tiny little flea compared to that. You can't fight demons with your own energy, and that's what you've been trying to do your whole life. The only thing that can kill a demon is an angel. The only people who survived being a bright light were people who had to call upon a higher power. You can use God, you can use truth, you can say social justice. I don't know, pick a cause, pick a power, pick a God, pick anything. But it cannot be human. I usually, like Jesus or God or Allah, or you can be Islam, it doesn't matter. Malcolm X wasn't Christian, he was Islamic, and he still had a higher power. You know, I don't care what it is, you have to have such a higher power. Because even Pamela Anderson, she's a multi-millionaire, she's a celebrity, she's a lawyered up, and she still can't fight the demons. She's bleeding cash, like unbelievably. She's constantly being raped financially, emotionally, mentally, and otherwise. Because she has no higher power. It doesn't matter how much money and influence and politics and social power you have in the world, like all the Kennedys, look at them. They're all every single woman has several miscarriages. They're all drug addicts and alcoholics that commit suicide. No matter how powerful you are, you won't be able to fight a demon. You have to use God. Mm-hmm.
What are they saying? That prayer protects you or something? Because
that's exactly what I'm saying. Is prayer.
I feel like it hasn't worked for me very well most of the time. I mean, unless it's like you're saying, you have to constantly pray for protection or something. I'm not sure, you know.
You do. You have to constantly pray. And when you pray, it's not one way. It's two ways. At first, it's like crying wolf. At first, if you're drowning in the ocean, you call the Coast Guard. They'll come and help you. So if you call God, he'll help you. About the first 50 times. On the 51st time, the Coast Guard is going to go, listen, we've rescued you 50 times. It's our job. But you keep swimming in the current. Like, who goes surfing in a tsunami? Can't you go swim over there? Are you fucking for? That's what God's going to do. He's going to come save you the first 50 times. And the 51st time, God is going to go, okay, you're swimming with the sharks. Can you swim over there with the guppies? He's going to clue you in. And that's called a relationship with God. At first, you just cry for help. On the 51st time, God is going to say, you're a total idiot. Let me teach you how to swim better. And if you're really good at it, God will give you a sailboat. And if you're really good at it, he'll give you a yacht. And if you're really good at it, he'll give you a cruise ship. You develop a relationship with the divine so that he escalates the level of your protection. God will say, hey, I come down and I swim and I give you a little lifesaver, a little inflatable tube. But what, don't you want me to give you a cruise ship? Well then, babe, Let's earn it. Let me teach you how to pray and have a relationship with the divine so that God can give you more. You have been staying with the sharks, crying, help, shark, shark, shark. And after a while, you were so tired, you didn't even say, help, shark. You just said, okay, shark, eat me.
Well, does it have anything to do with, like I used to do Raja and Kriya yoga, and I used to meditate a lot, and on energy and that sort of thing. And, I guess, I don't know, I guess I got sort of, the point where these monks told me to stop meditating because I was so ungrounded. And I felt like, I was so caught up in meditating that it would be hard for me to even function a lot of times and to just be grounded and in the work. It calmed me down, but it was hard for me to function or work and that sort of thing.
Okay, let me explain to you, and I just wrote down Jesus freaks and monks. There's some people who are so overly spiritual that they become codependent on God or divinity, and that is not a true relationship with the divine. That is not a co-creative partner with the divine. So, for example, the same thing would be like if I accumulated a lot of money, but on the back end my wife was embezzling it and stealing it. No matter how much money I accumulate, if I let someone steal from me through the back door, it doesn't matter. So while you were doing all this great Kriya yoga and accumulating all this light, in the back end you were letting people steal that light. So that's what they meant by you were not grounded. You have to be spiritual, but you have to protect yourself. You have to build a wall and a fence. Grounding, like making money or getting angry or drinking a beer every now and then, puts it into perspective. Be like, whoa, here I was accumulating all this light. I didn't look behind me. Someone was stealing from me back there. That's what being grounded is. And Jesus freaks are like, no, Jesus will just protect me. It's okay if someone's robbing from me. And Jesus is like, no, you can't do that. God is like not going to, is like, you're so stupid. I'm not going to do that. If I give you a yacht, you'll let the person steal the yacht. And then you go, no, God, then just give me another yacht. God's like, I'm not going to give you 50,000 yachts. Because I'm just feeding the thieves. Every time I give you something, it's like giving something to a thief. Because you'll let him steal it from you. God is not going to give you abundance if you just give that abundance away to thieves. If you let your mother have your spiritual energy, she's not stupid. She herself, her soul is vacuous, so she has to feed off the life force of young children and pure energy, so to keep her young, just like Snow White's evil mother, because the moment she doesn't suck someone's life force off, she starts to age. So she's like, ooh, you're doing Kriya Yoga, yeah. Let me suck all that good God energy from you so I can stay young. Keep doing the Kriya Yoga. And pretty soon, they're like, stop doing Kriya Yoga, you're feeding youth to all the dark energy. They're feeding off of you. And you are actually increasing and helping the darkness. Because you're accumulating all this life force and then you're giving it away to the dark people. You're feeding ISIS. It's like giving all this money to some saint, and the saint goes over to the Middle East and starts giving all that wonderful money and stuff away to the terrorists. You're not giving money to the saint, you're giving money to the terrorists. So God cut you off. Because you were providing your life force to the darkness.
Well, how do I protect it then? I mean, it's like, I still do yoga and then not have that happen. I guess that's the part I never really could figure out or understand.
You have to protect yourself. Most people...
Oh, you mean like energetically in my mind or something? Like does you visualize like a shield or something?
Let me show you something. Most people, most bright lights, across the board, Jesus was probably one of like 6 people who didn't do this. Most bright lights protect themselves by... This is how they protect themselves. This is how they keep themselves from being robbed. Every single one of them. Getting fat, bald, aging, poor, you name it. They will do anything to hide and mask their light. Now, there are so many ways to protect yourself. Destroying yourself is one way, but there are other options. The more successful bright lights will protect themselves by having an extremely, like you said, disciplined and consistent spiritual practice. They will also have an inner circle of close, trusted advisors, friends, and mentors. You know, and sometimes those people can turn on you too, so you have to be very smart. You have to be extremely smart. You have to have a spiritual practice. You have to have an inner circle. You have to get away from toxic and negative people, even if it means, and if you can't financially right now, then you protect yourself like hell until you can. There's so much work you have to do just to protect yourself before you even begin building up your light again. A lot of bright lights protect themselves using money. They like to acquire money so that money can buy things to protect themselves, so they don't have to live in certain, you know, delusional neighborhoods and stuff like that. Money protects themselves. Reputation. There's a lot of ways that bright lights protect themselves that doesn't involve destroying the whole house just so the robbers can't rob you. You can protect a house without having to destroy the house just so the robbers are not attracted to you anymore. This would be the equivalent of like taking out my breast implants, right? And there, now no one will want to rape me anymore. Boom. Shave my head. You know, if you were Pamela Anderson. Right? But you don't have to do that, Pamela Anderson. You can just, like Tina Turner. She used Buddhism. She had a spiritual practice. Then she changed her for close circles of inner friends. She got away from Ike Turner, who beat her. She built up her money again, her reputation. Boom, she was a huge success. She protected herself. So over here, Pamela Anderson, that would be how she would do it. Because she's looking pretty bad these days. And over here is Tina Turner, who's looking pretty amazing these days. You know,
and I feel like the people, I guess, the mentors and stuff, I feel like I am confused about that too, because I've also felt like I've had to just get away from like churches or groups of people, and so that felt unstable, and you know, that's something that's very confusing for me.
Sometimes when you surpass someone, they'll turn on you, and then you have to go find a larger lamp because your light bulb is too big for this lamp. So you have to find a larger lampstand. So yes, you outgrow your mentors. They never expect you to outgrow them.
Well, I guess the money part too, that's just something I've never really figured out because, you know, I guess, like right now even, that's something that I feel like is, it's almost like it's overwhelmingly important for me to find some way to make money, and I get confused and I get distracted and overwhelmed because, you know, like right now, for example, most of my days, I'm thinking about changing my schedule back to 8-hour days because I think maybe I could be more efficient in doing something else, but I don't even know what to do. I need to get in better shape, and I went through internet marketing courses because for years I had a lot of inflammation, like with my back and my neck and my ankle. And so I found that this certain diet really helps eliminate that a lot. And so I feel like I'm confused about what to do for money because...
That's fine. Listen, I can't make money. I can't work out. I can't have a relationship. Because that's, see how good things and abundance stress you out? See how it stresses you out? Okay, so good things in my life stress me out. Meanwhile, bad things in my life, which you tolerate very well, they don't stress you out. They protect me from being robbed again. If I have a beat-up bicycle in my front yard, that's good. The moment I have a Cadillac, oh no, now I know I'm going to get robbed. It's stressing me out. So I have learned in my life to not have good things, but that the bad things will protect me. So getting good things in my life is stress. So let's not focus. I can't focus right now. I can't focus on getting good things because that's just stress. So you can't focus on making money right now. You can't focus on having a relationship right now. That is going to cause you stress. That is not where you need to be focusing. Where I need to be focusing is building up my protection. Because the moment I have protection, I can have anything. I can have good things. I can do. But as soon as I know I'm protected, then I can get one good thing or 5 good things. It doesn't matter because it's not going to cause me stress. As soon as I have protection, no matter how many good things I have, how many good things I get, I'm not going to have stress because then none of them are going to be taken away from me. I'm protected. For energy. Right here. That's my energy. Here is my parents' energy. Okay, so my parents' energy and that's my energy, right? Then we interact with one another. Right here is where we spend time together. Right here in this little arrow guy. Okay. You get to choose. When I spend time with my parents, okay, so when I spend time with my parents, I get to choose whether I want that time to be dominated by my energy, so it's all pure positive energy, or I can spend time and step into their energy, and the time that we spend together will be dominated by their negativity, by their blackness. So you get to determine what color this circle is. So, for example, when I know I'm going to confront a real negative person, I have no way out of it, I have to. Because one time I shot this pilot for a TV program, and the people on that, I couldn't get out of it, it's a TV program, but the people were so negative. They were sitting there like snakes, waiting to attack me. I took my little energy And when I went to that TV show, boom! I said no. I made my energy so big that the cobra snakes couldn't even suck my blood. I did not even give them 2%. I took over the whole space with my energy. Wouldn't let them talk. I came in and I gave this wonderful love, and then I left before any of their blackness could like stick their foot in or their toe in. I left. I didn't stick around. And eventually I trained the cobras so that we could spend more and more time together without having their toxic poison infect it. And they loved it because I'm the only person that cobra snakes can hang out with, and they don't even feel the mark of their own poison on other people. Cobra snakes love because they never get to be non-poisonous. Only certain people allow them the sacred and holy space so that they don't turn into the monsters they know that they truly are underneath. You have to control, when you hang out with your parents, you have to control it and train them how to treat you right.
It makes me think of something that I stopped doing years ago. And one of the things is that my mom, because she works for me, she's always like, take me shopping and that sort of thing. And then at some point I decided, probably 10 years ago, I was like, I don't think I ever want to get in a vehicle with my mom again, because when she hands you the vehicle, it's almost like as if she uses it to become, that's like she's trapped you in her mind. And if she's in a bad mood, she's going to take it out on you. And I'm like, whereas if I just stop by her house, I'm like, okay, I'm leaving now. When if she gets in a bad mood or something, I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go. But any type of situation of being trapped with her, I can't stand it. Like, just the thought of it. Like, I don't even want to think about getting in a vehicle with her. And she's used to that by now. But that's just something that makes me think of. I'm aware, maybe I'm aware of that,
You are aware of it. So, awareness is key, so you start to build certain rules like, okay, never get in the car with a cobra, da-da-da, leave before it gets ugly, and you have all these rules. And then God will be like, I'm glad you know not to swim with the sharks, to swim with the guppies, so I don't have to come save you all the time. But now I'd like you to swim where there's more current so you can be a stronger swimmer. Because I am going to give you that yacht, and I do want you to be a stronger swimmer. Then you will be trapped in a car with your mother. And the very first thing you are going to learn is whenever you go to your parents' house, you always have silicone earplugs. Yeah. And then they're talking to you and they're sucking, you're like, oh, you can't really hear them. And you can wear a little hat to cover your earplugs. The second thing is, sometimes the earplugs aren't going to work, and God is going to teach you how to have such a profound inner peace that she could be, and you'll be like, oh my God, that's so funny. You're so cute. You're so cute when you're mad. You're so cute when you're mad. And she's like trying to suck the porcelain and she can't get any blood. And you're just like, no. And she's like, she can't get any blood. It's like porcelain. And that's it.
When I was a kid, my parents would argue, and they would scream at the top of their lungs. I would tape record them fighting, and I would start laughing. Like, it turned it into something that was entertaining to me, And they hated it even more because they did that. Because when I was a kid, I playing around with music and stuff. I was into tape recording, like, myself playing guitar and all this. I started tape recording them to try to, as a way to mentally control it and all this kind of stuff. But it's what that makes me think of when you're saying that,
So pretty soon you can walk into a pit of hungry cobra snakes, and they can't, you're totally immune. They can't get any blood out of you. And you're like, oh, thank you for the massage. Ooh, that feels good. Can you do to the little left? And they're trying to murder you, but you're like, oh, that's a good massage. So you completely master the darkness.
So, I think I've made a lot of progress on, like, the thing with work, too, because that makes me think of that, too, because at work, once I reported this woman in my work area, that rumor spread, and now everyone's like, oh, no, don't mess with Brian, kind of thing, with reputation. But, I mean, I don't feel like I was bullying anyone. I was like, geez, just quit causing me problems. What's your deal? But, so I guess, like, it makes more sense to me now. But I think that maybe one thing that I do need to do definitely is to be more energetically aware. Like, maybe sort of, like maybe psychically or something, like visualize like a shield. Maybe when I feel something, especially if I feel something that, like at the back of the ear, in your head, I think, oh, well, I must be wide open or something. I need to kind of block that.
So the lowest form of protection is fighting, and the highest form of protection is joy, like laughing at it. So the lowest form of protection is not getting into the car with her. The highest form of protection is getting in the car and laughing your ass off. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then even higher than that is once it's funny, I make a YouTube video or whatever and make tons of money off of laughing at her pain. Then I bring in abundance. From that joy, I bring in abundance. I bring in relationships. I bring in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.